Hello, everyone. This is the great stuff. Now, we all know we're dealing with this pandemic, and we're dealing with lots and lots of great West Virginians that have lost their lives and their families and their loved ones, and that's tough stuff. But it's really, really, gosh, this is so necessary that we have within our state, and this is really good stuff. You know, I'm Governor Jim Justice, if anybody out there would miss that and everything, and thank you so much for being with us today. But today we have an incredible announcement, an announcement that's been in the wings for some time and everything, but today we're announcing, you know, a great move by BlackRock, a great move in the state of West Virginia, and so many good things that are about to happen here. You know, the Clearway Energy Group has begun construction on the BlackRock wind farm. Now, I don't know how it could be any better from the standpoint, it is a 115 megawatt wind farm that spans from Grant into Mineral County. And the investment is just this. You know, I'm a complete believer, you know, that West Virginia has to be a diversified state, and we have become just that. We still don't want to forget in any way that our coal mine jobs or our natural gas jobs, we don't want to forget how important they are, because one coal mine job, one job, the multiplier effect for of that is unbelievable. But we want to be, and we have embraced through the Coal Association in many different places, we have embraced the all-encompassing thing. We want to welcome the alternatives and everything. And this wind farm will absolutely amp up our wind production in this great state in a big way. Now, that's nothing but good stuff. You know, when we originally announced this project in May of 2019, we knew its potential to create hundreds and hundreds of jobs in the construction process. We also knew that it would bolster the region's electricity infrastructure and generate significant new tax revenues for Mineral and Grant counties and for the state of West Virginia. Now, I want to read just a couple of things to you here that's just background information that they give me. Now, just think about this. Once BlackRock is operational, Clearway will be among the leading taxpayers in Grant and Mineral counties, with BlackRock paying $5.7 million in property taxes to the counties and $9 million in B&O, business and occupation taxes, to the state over the life of the project. You know, that's great stuff. BlackRock is contracted under long-term power purchase agreements with Toyota and AEP Energy, a wholly owned subsidiary of American Electric Power. Both companies are major employers to local nonprofits every year throughout the project's lifespan. It's good stuff. It's stuff that good neighbors should be doing in West Virginia, and we salute them. Now, if we go back to just what I just said about an all-encompassing energy approach in West Virginia, where we absolutely do not run off and leave our coal mine jobs, our natural gas jobs, our oil jobs. We do not run off and leave them in any way. But at the same time, we absolutely want to embrace all the other all the other ways we can move forward with manufacturing and great jobs. Through the construction project, I think that we're talking about, and if I remember correctly, it was 200 jobs that will generate millions of dollars of spending in the local communities. I mean, it's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. And so as we go forward, I can't be any happier. I absolutely want to embrace any and all coming to this great state. We're pushing the buttons to make good things happen in West Virginia, and truly, absolutely, with a great diversified economy, with tourism booming and all the good stuff that we've got going on, whether it be high tech, higher ed, manufacturing, all the different alternatives that we've got going on. This is just another welcome announcement to all the goodness that's happening right in West Virginia right now. So I thank them. I thank them all. I thank the Clearway Energy Group. I thank the BlackRock Wind Farm people and everything. I thank Toyota and AEP and all the different people that are making it happen. But more than anything, I want to thank the officials of Grant and Mineral County and all the great people that have put in the licks with our commerce people and everything to make this become a reality. This is good stuff, West Virginia. Let's just keep on doing it. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Governor. Let's now hear from Craig Cornelius, the CEO of Clearway Energy Group.
Thank you very much, Governor. And surely the first set of thanks go to you. And on behalf of all of us at Clearway, I want to say how thankful we're to you, to Secretary Gonch, and to your point, to the so many others in your administration for the hospitality and support you've showed to us and to this great project over the last few years. We're also thrilled to have Delegate Rowan and Randy Crane from the Mineral County Chamber with us, and they'll speak after I do. All of you together have made West Virginia an incredibly welcoming place for BlackRock Wind for us to get this project built. And as we'll talk about it over the next few minutes, we see a really bright future for the diversified energy economy that you spoke about, Governor, being a force for economic and jobs growth in West Virginia, thanks to all your steadfast support and the promise of the technology that we can bring to you. You know, for me personally, this is a special project since it makes for something of a homecoming to get to be doing a project like this one in your part of the country. See, my dad's family hails from a place not that far away in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. And my grandfather, Papap, we called him, was a civil engineer who spent most of his career doing long lines engineering work and aerial mapping and surveys throughout the Appalachian region, and including in West Virginia. I learned recently when looking into that history for this event that it also included property line delineation to support tax collection. So I suppose that may not have been one of his most popular contributions to the state, but it was helpful for the state revenues, to be sure. Growing up, hearing stories about his adventures in that work and in the work of his grandfather before him in rail gave me an inspiring window into what's possible when your mind is put to making an infrastructure project happen. And I'm just really happy to be continuing our family's tradition of work in your part of the country, Governor Justice, now with a whole new generation of technology that I think has great promise for the communities and people of West Virginia in this time. So enough about me. I'd like to share a little bit about Clearway, which is an enterprise that's been in the state of West Virginia for a while now, but we're hoping you'll see more of in coming years. We're one of the largest clean energy companies in the US. We've got a nationwide fleet of 7.5 gigawatts of power plants that's in 26 states across the country. And that includes 5 gigawatts of the wind and solar projects like this one we're building here. We're also one of the fastest growing companies in the United States. Last year, we repowered or constructed over 1.1 gigawatts of new wind and solar plants, and we target about 10 to 15% of new capacity growth per year, which we hope is good news for the folks in West Virginia. We've been proud to call West Virginia home since 2012 when our 55 megawatt Pinnacle Wind Farm project in Mineral County began commercial operations. And today, as you'd mentioned before, Governor Justice, we're delighted to announce that next phase of growth in the region and the construction of BlackRock Wind, which is just 5 miles down the same ridge from Pinnacle, which is behind me here, on the border of Grant and Mineral counties on the Allegheny front. We think BlackRock's an exciting investment in West Virginia's future, and we're so grateful, as I said, Governor Justice, for the instrumental role that your administration has played in making it happen. Between the West Virginia Public Service Commission, DNR, DEP, DOT, DOH, and all the other agencies that played key roles, you helped this get underway. And now that it's under construction, here's what the project's going to involve. An overall capital investment of over $200 million, of which we expect $52 million will be spent directly on payroll and services during the construction process, most of which is going to local contractors and businesses. As you said, 200 jobs are going to be created by the project during construction, and we're really proud to be collaborating with the West Virginia State Building and Construction Trades to provide the local talent to build this sophisticated project. And through all that investment in their work, when we're done, we'll have 23 of the most state-of-the-art wind turbines in the world up and running. making 5 megawatts each from their pads in Grant and Mineral counties. And once they're running, that power they provide to Toyota and AEP, who you mentioned, are going to make those project customers more cost efficient and more sustainable and put them in a position to continue to grow their economic activity in the state. When all is said and done, BlackRock is going to increase the state's wind capacity by 15%. So it makes a big change in terms of that diversified picture that you talked about, Governor Justice. Now that it's underway, I'm also excited to share some great news for West Virginians who are looking to work in the energy industry. First, we're going to hold a job fair this spring to fill the long-term operations and maintenance positions at BlackRock. These are good-paying local jobs with almost limitless opportunity for learning and advancement, and which provide career growth opportunities within our company that extend across the country. Second, we're launching a pilot training program at BlackRock where we're recruiting new wind technicians who've come from the coal-fired industry and who'd like to chart a future in wind. Successful applicants will receive free training, travel costs, and a stipend during training. And those who successfully complete all the training are going to get a job at BlackRock. And we're piloting this here, and we're hoping to extend this program over time for other projects in West Virginia and eventually to other states in the U.S. because, like you, Governor, we don't want to leave people behind. We want them to come along with us. And, you know, we've got great examples of that happening right here in our very own company, where we charted a course for people who moved from one part of the energy industry to the next. Most of our best operators at Clearway followed that path. And some of them actually started in the coal sector right here in West Virginia to get there. Starting, for example, with our site manager at Pinnacle, right behind me, his name is Doug Vance, who started his career over 16 years ago at the Grant Tower Power Plant in Grant Town, where he rose through the ranks as a control operator to a shift supervisor. And he's a fourth-generation coal worker today who joined us to work in wind, and he's just great. And we're hoping to have more Dougs like him. Finally, we're here today to celebrate while we're celebrating the groundbreaking at BlackRock. I'm also excited to say that later this year, we're going to start to repower our existing wind facility at Pinnacle right behind me with new turbines and towers, and that's going to extend that plant's life for at least 30 years. That's another $88 million investment for a total 2021 investment of nearly $290 million that we're putting into the state, and even more jobs for the community. And it just shows how much renewable energy is going to get to be an important part of West Virginia's economy for years to come. Sum it all up, Governor, we're thrilled to be starting construction on BlackRock. We're proud to continue West Virginia's long history of energy production, and we're bullish on the Mountain State's future as a hub for innovation investments like that. And we hope that all of you, Governor, Mr. Secretary, Delegate Rowan, and Randy Crane will help us cut the ribbon on BlackRock this fall. With that, I'll hand it back to you.
All right, thank you, sir. Next, we'll go to Ed Gonch, the Secretary of the West Virginia Department of Commerce. Secretary, your mic is muted.
How's that? Is that better?
Yes, we have you now.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Very glad to be with you. This is my favorite part of this job that the governor lets me do every day. Congratulations, Craig, to Clearway. Congratulations to the local economic development folks in the Potomac Highlands. It's a great day, and actually for the entire state of West Virginia. Governor mentions our efforts to diversify our economy, and I'm telling you, we're well on the way to doing that. This project is another spoke from that hub that we've created here that's allowing us to not only diversify our energy portfolio, but our entire economy in the state of West Virginia. It's fun to be here today. People are starting to recognize West Virginia as a wonderful place to live, work, and play. And we're getting inquiries every day. Our phones are lighting up with people who have discovered West Virginia. It's a very exciting time. The jobs are important to us. The economic investment are important. We're happy to see your relationship, of course, with Toyota and AEP. They're both already wonderful corporate citizens in the state of West Virginia. And this will just enhance their position and their place here in West Virginia. So we're excited about that. And Craig, I will just end by saying, as Secretary of Commerce, I will pledge to you all the resources that are available to me to make Clearway and any other company that you might see fit to bring to West Virginia as successful as possible. One of the things we pride ourselves on is that we're able to move fast. This governor can get every one of his cabinet secretaries together very quickly. We can make decisions quickly. So we want to do everything possible to make you and Clearway as successful as you can possibly be in the state of West Virginia. Thank you for this investment and congratulations. Back to you, Jordan.
Thank you, Secretary. Next, we'll hear from West Virginia House of Delegates member Ruth Rowan.
Thank you, Governor. First of all, I want to thank you for your leadership through this pandemic that our state is going through. Thank you also for your leadership in the economy, growing West Virginia. I also want to thank the people at Clearway, as some of the things they really didn't touch on were things that they have helped in growing things here locally. They give generously to Ashby's Fort, which is encouraging tourism here in Mineral County, and also they contribute to the local libraries. So they're also not only investing in the economy now, but in the future with our children. So thank you, Governor Justice, and thank you to all the people there at Clearway.
All right, thank you, Delegate. And finally, we'll hear from Randy Crane, who's the president of the Mineral County Chamber of Commerce.
Well, thank you very much. This is a terrific day for West Virginia, and I also want to thank the governor and Secretary Goss and Delegate Rowan for their leadership and helping to make West Virginia so welcoming to everybody, from tourists to businesses across the land. So, and I cannot adequately state what Clearway Energy has meant to Mineral County and our community and our nonprofits and to the chamber. Every person from Clearway has gone way out of their way to be a good neighbor and to help us beyond our expectations. So it's just fun. Anytime I have to deal with Clearway, it's a good day. So I'm really grateful to just how easy it's been to work with them, and I'm so grateful to the state for doing their part to make this happen. The chamber supports all forms of energy in West Virginia, and I believe that the renewable energy is a bold step toward the future of clean energy. And as Delegate Rowan and the governor have mentioned, what Clearway gives back is so helpful to our community. We're a small, very small county, but every dollar helps, and by giving back $50,000 a year towards our nonprofits, which then turn around and make great things happen in our county, that's just a huge step above and beyond, and we're so grateful for that. And they go beyond that as well, and I won't bore everybody with the details, but Clearway is a great neighbor and a great contributor to our county. So thank you, Mr. Cornelius. And thank you to everybody else that's been involved with this project. It's been nothing but a pleasure.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Crane. Governor, I'll turn it back to you.
Well, if y'all can allow me to just use your first names, which I would always welcome you to call me Jim. But if I can take that liberty, Craig, I just want to tell you just this, that the greatest absolute compliment I can possibly imagine is coming your way, just came from Randy. Every day he deals with you is a good day, a day that he's excited about and everything. And it says so much for Clearway. It says so much for all that you're doing. It says so much for your neighborly thinking. And so from Ed and Ruth and Randy and myself, We thank you for being just that. We wish you all the success, all the profitability. We wish you all goodness within this state. Do us right, and I promise you we'll stand arm in arm with you, and we'll absolutely celebrate running across the finish line together. Thank you so much. I am absolutely tickled to death and everything, and let's just keep going and keep going in the right direction. And the only other thing I would tell you is, not far from my home, at least where I lived for a long time, and now, I'm in Charleston so much and everything, and my grouse hunting has really diminished. But not far from my home, I guess in 2016 and 2017, in that season, I got 73 grouse, which was big time. Now, since that time, believe it or not, and it's terrible, I got 2 and 1 and 2, and this year I've not killed a grouse yet, which is unbelievable. The grouse are probably celebrating, me becoming governor, but I spent an awful lot of time around an incredible wind farm not far from my house at Grassy Knob and at Coal Knob and all through there, and so I spent many, many days right underneath those wind turbines and everything grouse hunting. And so if by chance you happen to spot a whole bunch of grouse where you're at, I'm standing ready waiting for the call. So, and I'm just teasing, but no, I'm not. You call me. Nevertheless, thank you again so much.